Most painful cartel death ever.
Peanut butter. On a calm, breezy morning in Mexico City, the day's peace would be interrupted by the disturbed screams of a man tied to a pole. But you're probably wondering how he got here in the first place.
What the fuck?
Earlier that month, he had been accused of committing an unthinkable crime to a local woman in the city. Word of his actions spread quickly, angering friends, families, and other locals until a notorious Mexican gang caught wind of the story.
Oh, word?
For them, justice would not wait for courts and police. They tracked the man down, ripped him out from his house, and dragged him out into the open. They grabbed his hands and bound him tightly so that escape was impossible. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, the gang pulled out a tub of peanut butter and began to slather it on his...
What
the man became
fuck?
confused, because while covering somebody in peanut butter is a pretty strange punishment, it's not necessarily painful.
They put peanut butter in the nigga nuts. That's a pause right there. What the fuck, bruh?
However, his confusion would quickly fall into dread when the men brought out two huge pit bulls. He immediately realized what they were trying to do and began pleading for mercy. However, his cries were drowned out by the growls of the snarling dogs. When the animals were unleashed, panic surged through the alleged criminal as he screamed for help. The punishment unfolded brutally. It was a slow spectacle of pain and humiliation. And sadly, his screams fell on deaf ears as locals pretended like nothing was happening.
Nah, nigga, I know, but damn, like you could feel the butterflies in your stomach from the fucking picture painting of the fucking shit.
By the time the dogs were pulled back, the man was left broken in a way that couldn't be fixed.
Damn.
The point was made clear. The gang had delivered their brand of justice and sent an unforgettable message that'll live on in the heart of Mexico City for years. Vile acts against the vulnerable in this city will not be tolerated. 49. On May 12th, 2000...
It's another incident? This is not the only incident? The most painful cartel deaths. Wow, there's more.
12, a man in Cadereyta, Jimenez decided to step out of his home for a quick beverage. The evening was warm and calm. It was the kind of night where nothing out of the ordinary was really expected. As the man walked along the highway, the dim lights cast long shadows across the road. Out of nowhere, the man would stumble across what sort of looked like a strange log just lying to the left of the pavement. He barely paid it any mind, stepping past it. Moments later, he saw another one, then another, with each log carrying a foul, nauseating stench that clung to the air. The smell was strong enough to stop the man from walking any further. Confused, he decided to inspect the objects. He crouched closer, squinting at the twisted shapes in the dark. What at first looked like a bunch of discarded stick bundles on the highway slowly revealed themselves as something far more horrifying than expected.
Is that a dismembered body?
The man recoiled in terror. They weren't logs. They were human bodies.
Oh,
40
body parts? Fuck, I'm thinking it's a part of the body. A fucking real body? Fuck.
9 bodies scattered across the road.
9?
They were men and women, stripped of their dignity. Each of them were missing their heads, hands, and feet. The mutilation was so precise and brutal that it was nearly impossible to tell who they once were.
What the fuck?
Some of the people were stuffed into plastic bags, and others dumped carelessly onto the roadside. The man's breath quickened as his mind struggled to process the scale of what he was seeing. A sense of dread swept over him as he realized he had stumbled upon...
31,000 Robux is crazy.
In that moment, the silence of the night felt oppressive. The road transformed into a grotesque stage of terror. Later, authorities would confirm what many feared. This was the work of Los Zetas, one of Mexico's most violent cartels. The bodies were left as a chilling message in an ongoing war for control of smuggling routes into the United States. By dawn, the site was swarmed with police and soldiers with their flashlights cutting through the dark as they documented the carnage.
Who felt like this shit was cool though? Like these motherfuckers must have been doing some nonsense, bro. But you can see how many people can be killed. That shit is fucking sick, bro. Don't go against the cartel or the mob, y'all. Y'all gonna regret it.
Officials were able to arrest the perpetrator of the tragedy, Daniel Jesus Elizondo Ramirez, more formally known as El Loco. This is just one of many atrocities that happen in Mexico because of wars like these. And if there's one thing that's true about these conflicts, it's that the innocents will always be the ones who have to pay. May their souls rest in peace.
Yeah, definitely.
the Ghostwriter incident. The CJNG is one of the most powerful and dangerous cartels in Mexican history. The United Cartels is a coalition that was formed in opposition to their control.
Right.
And on a sweltering afternoon deep in cartel territory, a notorious man known as the Ghostwriter, in allegiance with the United Cartels, would find himself in the grip of one of Mexico's most feared criminal organizations. You see, Ghostwriter got his peculiar name from his horrific reputation. He was known for setting his victims ablaze and leaving them out in the open to be discovered. However, now that he was captured and surrounded by the CJNG, his fate became sealed long before cameras even started rolling. This cartel was not content with simply eliminating a rival. They wanted to carve a message into the eyes of each and every one of their enemies, and in their eyes, Ghostwriter's nickname provided the perfect stage for humiliation. The camera steadied on him as members of the cartel mocked the moniker he had carried, and then with a calm and chilling demeanor, they doused his face in accelerant and struck a flame. What followed was a spectacle designed not just to eliminate, but to terrify. The man's face ignited in an instant. Flames began dancing across his skin, consuming the man's head until it became unrecognizable. Bound and helpless, his muffled cries pierced the silence as the cartel stood by, watching. The man could no longer see, and his head now resembled nothing but a skull. But horrifically enough, he was still screaming. This terrible—
You gotta be fucking lying. You gotta be fucking lying, bruh. He had to just completely just clock out, bro. Ain't nobody burning their skin to the skull and still alive, bruh. Where your brain gotta be fried too at that point.
sight, paired with his nickname that once gave him power in the criminal underworld, had been twisted into a cruel, barbaric joke. The man had literally become the Ghostwriter, just in a very wicked sense. The video of the savagery spread across the dark corners of the internet, where CJNG often showcased their brutality.
That's some sick shit, though.
For those who stumbled upon the footage, the sight was unforgettable. A man was transformed into a symbol of suffering and humiliation, and that symbol would unfortunately outlast his legacy. The bowl incident. Panic surged through the city as word spread of the grisly discovery made inside of the bag. In Los Mochis, police chased down reports of red-stained sacks dumped all over the town. Each one revealed another part of a human body, like some sort of sick, twisted treasure hunt. Inside one bag was a torso, in another bag were severed limbs.
Wow.
But the true horror that shocked the city came from a janitor cleaning the front of a city hall.
This shit is
crazy. While doing his job, he stumbled across a sports bag, but when he went to pick it up, a soccer ball bounced out of it. As it rolled over, the ball revealed that it was stitched with human skin.
What the fuck?
A man's face was pulled tight over the leather with its lips sewn shut. And a note beside it read, "Happy New Year, because this will be your last." In early January 2010, a 36-year-old man named Hugo Hernandez had mistakenly crossed into Sinaloa cartel territory while they were in the midst of one of the bloodiest cartel wars in history against the Juarez. They immediately abducted the man, tied him to a chair, brought out a chainsaw, and well, the rest was history.
Damn.
This is just one of the hundreds of thousands of civilian casualties in this non-stop war.
A civilian casualty? You gotta be fucking lying, bro. They had nothing to do with it and they still got taxed?
The violence is so bad that reporters and journalists stopped reporting on it because they too were brutally—
Word? Oh my god, you can't even fucking be a journalist. Am I next? Fuck. What the hell?
The cameras begin rolling, and then the footage adjusts. The scene is set on a man bound with his hands and legs tied by extension cords. As the camera focuses more, it becomes clear that the man is most certainly not alive. His face is missing, and so are his hands and eyes.
I'm glad that they have to draw this shit out, because having this shit realistically shown, like with a real body, motherfuckers would be throwing up. This shit wouldn't even be able to go on YouTube.
However, in sheer impossibility, the man begins moving violently. The camera slightly pans over to the side, and there it becomes apparent that these cartel members hooked the man up to a substance to pump his adrenaline and keep him wide awake and aware. Because of this, it is impossible for the man to pass out. And that's when it starts. The cartel members pull out a knife and stick a metal pole in the man's mouth in an effort to silence him. What happens next is simply just too horrific to mention on YouTube.
What the fuck?
Out of respect for this man's life and to protect your mental security, I'll skip over it. All you need to know is that they began playing a game with the man's throat while pumping him with substances to keep him alive. The best thing I can compare this to is if you were to undergo surgery and one of the operating doctors forgot to give you anesthesia, which, by the way, is just a medical treatment that typically makes you unconscious and unaware during painful surgery.
Ew, this shit done gave me butterflies in my stomach. Surfer Dora, damn you.
Surgeries. Normally in a case like this,
Damn
you'd
you.
up in extreme pain. But since you're restrained, the agony would just cause you to pass out on the operating table.
Yeah, they're literally brutally torturing a motherfucker. Like when you dealing with close on shit like that, bruh, you gotta change your mindset, bruh. These niggas have no heart, bruh. These niggas getting down and dirty, and they doing little fucking surgical shit on you, bruh. Like imagine being beat the fuck up, no skin, no none, got some of your bones out, and you still alive, bruh. Clock me the fuck out, bruh. You done torched me the fuck up. Clock me out, bruh. You feel me? That shit is insane right there, bruh. Who the fuck want to be tortured?
Imagine if the doctors were also injecting you with some type of liquid that prevented you from passing out and kept you wide awake, to watch what they were doing to your body in complete horror. That's pretty much what happened, and after the men were done, the video would finally end. But shortly afterward, another video in the same room would surface. In it, you can see the same men playing soccer with the victim's head, kicking it back and forth to each other in efforts to catch it. What makes this incident as horrific as it is isn't the sheer brutality of their actions. When the men were carrying out this atrocity, it's heavily noted that they would be talking to each other, calm and casually, as if it were another Tuesday morning at their shift. All the meanwhile,
because they so used to it,
hit would play in the background, striking a mind-boggling contrast between their gruesome acts and the fun and enjoyable disco song. The song is called...
Yeah, these niggas are no longer humans at this point. Once you can do shit like this, you no longer a fucking human, bro. Once you can torture somebody like this, bro, you are possessed with demonic presence. And that's just real shit.
Funky Town by Lips Incorporated, and chances are you've probably already heard this song countless times when you were young. When I was a child, this was a song they played for me at Chuck E. Cheese and at school festivals. And now, my memories of this fun and stupid disco song are tainted by the actions of the wicked. The warmth, security, and luxuries we have today were not built on the morals of the evil. They're built by those who dare to be inspirational instead of evil. They're built by those who sacrifice themselves to protect their country. They're built by good men and women who figured out that love is stronger than wickedness. Be a good person to the world, your neighbors, and most importantly, to yourself. And as usual, don't search any of these videos up. Be safe and have a happy day, lads.
Don't search none of these videos up. Fuck that. I'm about to go deep dive in. Fuck all that. Nah, this shit wild though. I ain't even about to lie to you, mud. Like, nigga, I do not want no parts. I don't want no problems with the fucking cartel at all, bro. I don't want no beef. Went to see the Funky Town vid. I might check it out. I might check it out. But I'm about to lock in on these body cams. You know how that go. Bando! Appreciate the motherfucking sub, Brody. On God, bro. Surfer Door, appreciate the sub. Oh, he gifted Surfer Door a sub? Yo, goated, bro. Bando, you a real nigga for that, bro. You definitely done gifted the right person a sub, you know? Real shit. That's a fake. I gotta get that fog on my soundboard. W Bando, man, real nigga, man. Definitely got everybody in my chat, all y'all real ones at the end of the day too. You feel me? Cause y'all come here and y'all support the motherfucker. You feel me? That shit mean a lot, bro. That shit means a lot.